Hi, my name's Sandra Wilson and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist who works with ADHD, rejection sensitivity and trauma symptoms. So in today's post, I thought I would talk a little bit about a common problem that we can experience quite often in our relationships when we feel ignored or that our feelings don't matter. So let's say, for example, it's your birthday. And I know that this can be a very deeply triggering day for so many people anyway. But let's say that your partner has invited an old friend to stay that same week. And they're busily making plans together. And even though you might quite like this friend, you don't really know them massively well, and you feel livid. You feel deeply resentful because this friend, even though they're okay, you just kind of have the feeling that your partner maybe should have kept this time just for you, free for you, because it's your special day, right? And being a reasonable person, you feel quite ashamed of feeling this way. After all, your partner barely sees this friend and, why shouldn't he stay? So what is the problem? None of this feels logical or rational, right? But you can't shake off the feeling of hurt. It feels physical sometimes as well as emotional. You might feel really quite ramped up and stressed out in your body when you think about it. So you may even notice as a result of this, communication at the moment with your partner is extremely difficult. You might find yourself snapping at them and maybe even going off into a sulk. And you feel childish and silly for doing this, but you really can't help it. So now you're in danger of starting a massive scene, and it's undoubtedly going to ruin your birthday when it doesn't need to. So why are you feeling this way? Why are you potentially sabotaging a fun day, a fun time where everybody could just have a laugh and enjoy each other's company? So first of all, you are entitled to your feelings. There's no doubt about that, whether that you consider them right or wrong. And you cannot help how you feel, right? The important question, as I said, is more likely to be why? Where do these feelings come from? And the answer, broadly speaking, is that you're seeking validation that you matter. And this friend seems to matter more than you at this time, and that is not a good thing, especially if you have had ADHD diagnosed, or even if it's not diagnosed. This is possibly a symptom of ADHD called rejection sensitive dysphoria. And it's a huge part of having ADHD that often goes unrecognised. So if your nervous system is wired to feel rejection as pain, possibly that is a result of years of negative messages that can feel quite traumatic. Maybe negative messages at your home, in your schools as you were growing up, that maybe you were too sensitive, that you were just too much, that you were an attention seeker, that you were a daydreamer, and you were just maybe made to feel like the odd one out, as if you were different and you weren't accepted. And here's the key: understanding and accepting yourself is the first step in actually healing. And there's no shame in feeling your feelings, but if you have experienced shame in the past for being too sensitive or too much or too needy or whatever, then it stands to reason that these feelings will follow you. They'll follow you around wherever you go, and especially into later life. And it's really important to remember that there's nothing actually wrong with you, that you are not broken, you are just wired for safety, that your nervous system is wired for safety. And that is why you are reacting to a situation that doesn't necessarily need to be that big of a deal in the way that you are. So I hope that has helped, and I will be back with more content tomorrow. Bye for now.